Welcome back to the channel. No idea what the shot looks like. Got out of work. So what I want to do is introduce one of the new projects coming up. Got a little engine build going on. We're going to kind of walk everybody through the phases of the entire build. Show everything from basic block prep, cleaning, everything I do to these blocks as far as block passageways, all the prep involved in getting this thing ready to assemble. We'll do the mock-up, put all that together, check clearances, show how that's done, kind of walk through some of the parts that we're using, and go through all phases of that, from short block assembly to putting the heads on, checking push rod length, all that. Then I've got a couple camshafts back here, and the camshafts I have back here aren't what's going to actually go into the engine. But what I'm going to do is use those for a few little separate videos. One is we're going to go through and actually map these cams out, kind of figure out what they are using a degree wheel. Pretty basic information. It's not like we're going to, gather a lot of data like a cam doctor would or anything like that. But we're going to get the basic data to actually have a good idea what the cam is and how it would work. And then we'll just put those as cams aside, and then we'll actually degree in the cam that we're going to use in this engine. And then we're going to show how that's done. It's pretty simple, but for a lot of people, if you don't do it very often, it might be something you have questions on, so we'll walk you through all phases of that. So now, just to get started, we'll kind of tell you a little bit about the build, the parts that I'm going to use in it, and bring you up to speed there. Let me grab the camera. We'll kind of... All right. Also doing an audio check on this GoPro. Last time we had the case on it, the audio wasn't so great. It sounded like I was a mile away when I was only 5 feet from the camera. All right, so the block itself is nothing special. It's your typical 440 block, just a factory cast iron block used in, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of passenger cars and trucks over the years. So nothing special there. I've got what's called the 187 oil pan, and it has this nice little relief in here, and that relief is for certain A-body applications where there's actually an idler arm assembly that goes in there and swings into that relief. So not anything special, not anything we need for this build, just something I happen to have laying around, so I'm going to use it. I've got the matching pickup over there. So the nice little combo ought to go together and we'll make it work. Trying out something new. These came out in the last, 5 to 7 years. And they are basically an integrated windage tray pan gasket. So I've heard both good and bad on these things, but we're going to figure it out for ourselves, see if it works, see if it's a piece of shit. And we'll report back and let you know exactly what we think. So, as you can see, the block here is really nothing special. It needs a little bit of prep work, to remove a lot of these bits and pieces of cast iron. I've kind of knocked some of the big chunks off there, and I'll show you how I prepped that from that point on. This block actually has a new set of cam bearings in, so that's ready. It's been honed. It's ready to go as far as that goes. We just need to clean it all up, and with the additional prep work we're going to do, we're just going to make a mess. So we'll make that mess, come back, get all that done, get it all prepped, and then we'll do a final wash. ARP 2-bolt mains and just bolts rather than studs. This thing will probably make right around 630, 640 horse, so it isn't going to make a ton of horsepower. So bolts on the original main caps ought to be just fine. Got a lot of nice parts going in. The foundation of it, though, is really just something pretty common. Just your standard 440 forged crankshaft. So I did take it down to Tim Wilkerson's shop at Capital City Machine Shop and had the boys balance it down there. So it should make for a nice rotating assembly. And ought to hold all the horsepower we're going to make with this one and then some. Got some Molnar H-beam rods. Really nice pieces. They've got all the right material in the right areas for the strength they need, but aren't big and bulky and real heavy like some aftermarket H-beams. And then for pistons, we're using an Icon forged piston. Again, not exactly a high-end component, but really just a nice piece for the power that we're going to make, and at an affordable price. Got some King engine bearings going in it. I've used a lot of Clevites over the years, and primarily Clevites. I've used a few other Federal Mogul bearings and a lot of different oddball bearings, but this is the first time using King race bearings. So got a lot of buddies that have used them, good results, so I'm going to try out a set. Indy Valley cover on top of the old standby crane rockers. We're going to see how these look and work on top of the trick flow heads that we're going to use, and see if we need to upgrade to a nice set of roller rockers or if those standard rockers will actually work. And I suspect in the lift and duration range we'll be in, we'll have no issues with that. Like I said, trick flow 240 CNC heads. These are nice heads. We've used them on a lot of combos. They build great power. They've got a 270 version, but for this engine we definitely don't need that. So nice 240 sets. Got kind of a standard port window on the intake. This particular set of heads isn't raised up or anything like that. It takes all the standard port window 440 intakes, and you don't have, you know, big challenges with valley covers and everything else. So, and then we'll top them off with a nice set of Trick Flow's new valve covers. So make for a nice looking engine. Should match our MSD Pro Billet distributor. And then, contrary to what you see here with all the orange paint on it, the whole thing's actually going to be black, as indicated by all these nice black finished parts. So, little departure from the Mopar purist and their Hemi orange, but we're going black on this one. So, but that's pretty much the whole story there. That's the bulk of the parts. Got a total seal ring sitting there, some of the intake gaskets. So it should be a solid piece with a lot of good parts in it, and we just want a good solid build. Like I said, not looking for a ton of horsepower. Would like to make a lot of torque out of this thing and have a nice running piece. So 40 over, compression's not going to be real high. Should be somewhere near 10-to-1. So we'll be able to run it on pump gas with the camshaft I've chosen. Shouldn't have any issues there. It should make plenty of power and should be completely streetable. So we'll get ready to get this thing built. We'll start in on block prep, and we'll do a separate video on that, and we'll see everybody back for the next video. So we'll talk to you later.